Hey, this DJ with an Aero Tactical. Want to talk about the ongoing topic right now that's going on in the courts right now. It's with suppressors. Ironically, I received a text message this morning from one of my relatives, and it was in regards to suppressors and the misunderstanding in that actual context that they read from the internet was basically what they got out of is, hey, we don't want, as they considered, crazies walking around the street with suppressors. This family member not being educated and not knowing about suppressors, what they're used for, how they help with hearing and noise reduction, things like that. And they mitigate, the actual noise from when you're shooting a firearm and things like that. So I actually sent them information over, Of course, I sent them links to my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, where, I know a lot of people are not educated. And that's why I created this platform to educate everyone on gun safety, empowering our women, to be more active with shooting, be more comfortable carrying their firearms, always, be aware of their surroundings, things like that. Even with family, it builds a lot of rapport with your kiddos by teaching them education about guns, take them to the range, your significant others, things like that too. But what I totally want to address is that silencers are vital for people with, hearing disabilities and things like that. It can't hear loud noises, so forth. It makes it kind of quieter. I like it. It's especially for hunting. A lot of people do it for recreational. You can hunt with it as well too. It allows, you to be kind of quiet. You don't run off all the other animals or deer or whatever game you're hunting, elk, things like that too as well. Then another, that same day, I actually, me and a friend of mine, we went to the gun range and we actually shot one of my suppressors on my Glock. And, we've been training together, things like that. So she's kind of not new to the gun thing, but she's been doing it for a while, teaching the proper stance, things like that too as well. She also has her CCW. She does carry as well too. Actually brought her daughter with her this time. We actually shot suppressed as well too. But after that actual gun range session, she said, hey, where could I get that setup you have? And I kind of told her, hey, where to get it from, the steps and things like that. And I said, hey, without making a decision, or let me know, I'll guide you through the steps, blah, 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 whatever. Let's find the best bang for your buck. Let's see what fits you and things like that. But not a lot of people are educated on how suppressors work, what they're used for, and things like that. But this is one of my suppressors right here. Okay, this is a Banish 45. I got it from Silencer Central. Supports anything from, of course, 380 ACP all the way up to 45 ACP. So it covers everything between from your 380 to your 9 mil, to your 40 to your 45. So it comes in, I think this is 8 inches there as far as that configuration, but you can break it down to a 6-inch configuration just by unscrewing this right here too. Of course, there, YouTube, I can't unscrew it, but this is one of my suppressors I have too. I have quite a few of them, but this is one of them here. And it's, the time frame when I applied to get the suppressor, took well over almost a year to get it, of course, there. Now it's, it's kind of a little few months now from when I did it, of course, there. So, but yeah, and that's kind of what, one of my family members took from it. It was like, hey, we don't want crazies running around with this. And I mean, this has nothing to do with your crazy, senile, old, anything. It just helps with noise mitigation. That's it, and which is crazy there. For when I heard that, I was like, no. So like immediately I jumped to the defense of it, like, hey, I sent over information, YouTube channel, me shooting suppressed, things like that too as well. Instagram, Facebook, all my social media platforms, which is a Nero_tactical. So, it's very, you go through extensive background. So it's not as easy as people think to get this. You go through, the gun store first, then you go through the ATF, then the FBI, then your local law enforcement knows about it and things like that too. So it's not as easy as you think. I mean, it's easy if you have a clean background, yes, but you go through a lot of, background checks and things like that before you can actually get one of these. Now, like I said, it took me a year when I first got it. But now it's, I've seen people get them in a month's time, especially if you've been dealing with, the same company that you have bought your suppressor from, or your can, whatever you want to call it. A lot of information is still on file, so it's easy for them to use that and update and send it on over to the ATF, using the e-forms and things like that. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's going on within the courts right now. We have a gentleman that's fighting for getting suppressors. They have it categorized as an accessory, and he kind of was an FFL dealer himself, but then the ATF and feds ran in his house. They found an unregistered solvent trap in his house. So that's what's been going on with that scenario there too. But to kind of, sum it up, was suppressors are used for nothing violent or anything like that. It's just used to help with sound. That's it. So just to kind of educate everybody, like I said, this is one I got from Silence Essential. This is the Banish 45. I love it. So, like I said, this is DJ with Nero Tactical. Kind of wanted to address that. If you have any questions, comment, DM me. My information's in there. My email's on my website too as well. All my social media platforms. Have any questions, feel free to reach out to me there. And it's always good. Share this information. Comment, subscribe. Get it out there. A lot of people are not educated about certain things, whether it's guns, what you can't shoot. Because there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now where we all need to arm ourselves and train and prepare and understand what's going on. But this is DJ with Nero Tactical, signing off. And you guys keep training, stay positive,